Check.
I like our new prop.
Yeah. A pretty classy prop. Vikings Banter live from Barney's Beanery. Deep in the middle of free agency, getting closer to the draft. We got a draft party coming up pretty soon.
Right here.
Big announcement. It's going to be live on the patio. It doesn't matter what team you're a part of. You don't have to be like taking one of the best quarterbacks in the
Everyone's
league.
got a pick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come out, hang out with us. It's going to be a great time. But we have a lot of moving parts. One thing I have to say is I love Kwesi because he keeps the off-season moving, and it's exciting.
Yeah. I mean, we traded for that 23 pick. We gave Houston our second rounder this year, and we moved up. We got that 23rd pick, so we have 2 first-round picks, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
Free agency is basically done. Like, that is now put to the side. Everyone's kind of got their guys. Whoever hasn't been picked up yet is not going to get picked up until after the draft.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like everyone is now focused in. They're locked in on who's joining the team. And then after that, it's like, okay, what did we miss out on? Like OBJ, like guys like that who are still out there. Like, they're just going to wait and see who didn't get a wide receiver.
Because
that
you gotta
needs a
wait
wide
to
receiver.
see. Yeah, right. You gotta see.
So there's
who
no point in
they think
them.
they're gonna get if they don't fall to them.
Exactly.
Was there anybody that you thought we missed that maybe we were going to grab?
I would like to get, I think we need a third receiver, but I don't want to, like, we can't go back into the draft and draft another highly touted receiver.
No.
Because
But do you think we can find one deep in the draft?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
could. I would like a veteran receiver,
Okay.
and obviously we can't draft a veteran receiver, so it's like
They could still
a
have
Tyler Boyd, something like that, who's like, he knows coming
Who's on
in.
the market right now?
Tyler Boyd,
Okay.
OBJ, but like he's a diva, and I don't want
Rasheed
him
Rice
near
getting
our
on the
guys.
Remember those like
he might be
so
okay.
many trade rumors about OBJ to the Vikings over the years, and like
Yeah.
every single time it's like, please don't.
Exactly. Yeah, no, Tyler Boyd, I think, fits into our scheme very well because he knows he's not going to be the top guy. He's not a head case. He's played with superstars in the past. He just came off the Bengals with Jamar Chase. So somebody like that who just knows where he fits in. He's not afraid to go over the middle, get hit, hold on to the ball. That's what I want in our third receiver.
Right.
Okay.
I don't
like
trust
that.
Brandon Powell and Trent Sherfield and these other guys that we have, but we do need like a
Didn't you
sure-handed veteran.
The Trent Sherfield.
I do.
pickup?
I do.
Yeah.
But he's 5'10". Justin isn't big.
Yeah.
Jordan Addison is not big. Like,
Where's-
I would like a bigger
Okay.
threat who can just catch, drop.
Well, that I was wondering, like, where's Thielen at his contract?
Oh no, he's locked.
Is he
in.
still
He's
locked
He's
in?
not
Is,
coming back.
is he
yeah.
still a high paid?
He got
He
paid.
got
Yeah.
paid.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he hasn't really made that impact.
No, well,
He did
Carolina's
in the-
shitty though.
Yeah, Carolina's horrible. He played well in the first half of last season, and then they kind of started trying other things.
Okay.
But I mean, he's not.
So
he's
it's not
the
like
guy
his
he
retirement
was.
party.
No,
Okay.
no. But you know what I would love is I feel like every good team needs that white wide receiver who just role player guy, get his 80 to 100 catches. You know, if like for a high end one, but like that third down or just the quick
Takes
Edelman route at
crazy
the
pay
goal
cut
line.
and just is always found in the
Just
slot.
gets lit up
Yeah.
every time he touches the ball and gets back up like a Hunter Renfro. I'll take Hunter Renfro too.
Oh,
Actually,
yeah.
he got cut.
He's too short, but Braxton.
He's got a good. Oh yeah, Braxton's tiny.
He's too small, but
Yeah.
Those
Yeah,
guys
I
are
want a
nice though,
bigger
but
guy.
they do kind of get overlooked though, and then they get open.
Oh, they're always overlooked.
Yeah.
And with our team, you have 2 very
You're going to
clear
get
cut.
overlooked.
Justin Jefferson is a superstar. Jordan Addison is a next tier, like a wide receiver
Right.
2. And then you've got what we need, which is the white possession receiver.
But then Hawkinson again, like
I can't wait for him to come back.
if he steps up.
if he steps up, if he actually becomes the guy, it's
He
very
looked great
odd
last year with them
watching
out.
people talk about him because everyone says how great he is.
Yeah.
Game to game, it never was that interesting. Early on, it obviously.
When we went,
first 2-3 games,
he was great.
awesome.
Yeah.
There were
But
great.
that
There
was
were
a great
great
game.
games. Yeah, no, he had like 11 catches. He had
Yeah.
everything in the first half. Then he got hurt. TJ definitely stepped up, and
Mhm.
he has like a playbook for him specifically, like a lot of plays that are just for TJ, which is rare for tight ends to be that good that they're like, okay, we're gonna draw you plays. You're not like a third option on this route.
Right.
This play is designed for you. So we have that. So yeah, we have 3 guys.
And then Aaron
We just need a
Jones
third
also
receiver.
catches out of the back.
Oh, absolutely.
So this is a different. We are adding to it.
Yeah. It's
Um,
just if we were missing something on offense, that would be it. I mean, obviously, other than quarterback. But yeah, we'll get into that.
my
but
Well, I
God.
think
Wide
this is an
receiver,
interesting way to jump off. Is to me, I am an odd guy where I do see journeyman come in every once in a while. I say,
Mhm.
well, maybe he just didn't have the right environment. Sam Darnold is that guy, drafted 3rd overall. right?
Mm-hmm.
Went to the Jets, which we all know, like
Sees ghosts.
they
Sucks.
ruin careers.
Yes.
True.
The sees ghost thing, I looked into it. It's bullshit.
Why?
Because apparently this was a conversation that they were having inside the quarterback room, where
Someone leaked it?
no.
Oh,
So,
no.
no.
Because he said it in public. Yeah.
No, it was a phrase they actually used inside their quarterback room that year. So when they would see quarterback like tense up or kind of get weird inside the pocket, they would say he's seeing ghosts.
Okay.
So that was his phrasing where he's like, dude, I'm just seeing ghosts today. Like I'm being a bitch in the pocket.
Fuck.
So he was just admitting to what we all
Which
were seeing.
but it was a common phrase they'd been using that year.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it's not like, oh my God, I'm not seeing. He's just saying, dude, I'm shitting in bed right now.
Yeah.
And I feel like an asshole because it was a horrible game. And then so he goes to the Jets, kind of gets put in another bad position in Carolina because they gave up too much for him.
And they
never surrounded
immediately
him with
got
people,
Baker as well right after, and then it was a good competition,
which was his
between the two of
rival
them.
coming out of the draft
Exactly.
anyway.
Right.
So it makes this weird little tension. And again, he says he had a great relationship with Baker. So everything
He's
falls
forced to
apart.
say
Baker
that.
ends up kind of like restoring his career a little bit, figuring it out. He goes to San Francisco. He's never going to have that job anyway. So
He
it
doesn't
doesn't
touch the
matter.
ball.
He was never going to win the job. I think this is an interesting time for Sam Darnold to maybe have 1 year to step it up.
What was the appeal of Kyle Shanahan giving like high praises?
Prospects. He has all the
Shitty
tools.
USC team.
Yeah, he wasn't
As they
great.
do, though.
He looked great, but yeah, the team was in turmoil. That
Yeah.
was in between in the Clay Holmes era, not Clay Holmes, Clay Helton era. That was just a fucking disaster. But Sam Darnold looked like he was going to be great, but I never liked his leadership capability. He wasn't a rah-rah guy. I liked that in a quarterback where they're like, come get behind me. I'm going to lead you to victory. He never had that. He was very
Yeah.
soft-spoken, not my
He does
type
have
in
backup
a
quarterback demeanor, for sure.
Yeah.
Yes,
Like
exactly.
nice guy, gets along. doesn't
Hopefully
get
you're
in
not
his
going to
way.
turn the ball over. But now look, like you were saying, it matters the system you're in. So look at Baker Mayfield. He was in the wrong
Doing great,
system.
yeah.
And now he's in a good system and he fucking thrived and he took his team to the playoffs and they looked good. So yeah, it's all about getting into the right system. You'd think that getting into our system with an ex quarterback as the coach with these amazing talents, around you as weapons, this would be the right environment if there is one.
Right.
So really it's Sam Darnold's last chance. I would be fine with giving him a few games and being like, look, go, let's test dummy you, see if you die out there, and then give it to whoever quarterback
But
we
you
draft.
said you don't think that we're gonna start the season with Darnold.
No. I think I think we
You think
should start the season with him. I don't like
Whatever
thrusting a
bye
quarterback
week we
out
have,
there.
He's our quarterback through the bye week.
No,
Really?
I think he
Yes,
gets.
absolutely.
It depends how he
It
looks.
depends who. It depends.
Depends
who
if
we
we're
get,
0-4, if we're 1-3,
Yeah.
he's out. 4 games is your leash. If because we're gonna draft a quarterback in the top 5.
too. Right.
Even though we don't
hopefully
have a
not.
top 5 pick, we're gonna be drafting top 5.
Yeah. But I guess this is the thing, and I'll probably say it till the season starts. I just hope he's the kind of guy that comes in. He has the arm for it. He actually has been put in enough situations where hopefully he looks at this last chance situation and goes, fuck it, I'm going to throw it to Jefferson and see if this guy can save my career. Takes a lot of risks, throws a few picks, but throws more deep, weird touchdowns than picks. And I could get along with that.
You need to just not fuck up. Like Nick Mullins had that gunslinger mentality coming in last year, and it was like sometimes you'd be like, holy fucking shit, look at Nick Mullins, like this guy's a quarterback, and then he'd throw some ridiculous pick and you're like, get this cocksucker out of the game. You know?
That is Sam Darnold, right?
Sam Darnold, we're hoping now, like he's way more talented than a Nick Mullins, but it's a similar thing where it's like you just hope he has more poise to not throw those interceptions.
Does he have better
Because if we
football
can get,
IQ?
yes, absolutely.
Okay.
He was coached better. Now he's been around great minds. Kyle Shanahan, one of the best offensive minds in the league. He's been around other good quarterbacks. Like the upside is you hope he's learned from all these experiences. Nick Mullins is probably going to go do the same thing now where he's going to be backups for other teams. You hope they learn from something. Sam Darnold has that pedigree where he could be a legitimate quarterback. Just nobody's seen it yet.
Yeah.
So I'm fine with the risk.
And if he is just our backup quarterback, he's the perfect backup for a first round draft pick, new quarterback. because you're going to have some level of respect. You're like, shit, you're third overall.
Yeah.
I wasn't, because I don't think we're going up to 3.
Yeah.
So you're still like, hey, this guy even went higher than me. His career got spun out of control overnight.
Yep.
Like basically over one Patriots game. It was like kind of done.
He was pretty bad for a while, but that was the fork.
First year though,
That was
right?
the
Like
fork.
it's like, what the fuck?
Or
Or is that his second year?
It was second, yeah.
Okay. But at least it puts you on the spot where, hey, this guy's legit, but then hopefully you can learn from his mistakes. And he's a perfect locker room guy for a first-round draft pick quarterback.
You would hope. But does he have the leadership quality, like you just said?
I hope he's learned it.
Yeah.
Because,
No,
Right.
but a backup quarterback doesn't need to be a leader. He just needs to be
Yes,
like,
you do.
hey,
If you're
But if
that
you're starting the
QB,
season
yes,
if
you
you
do.
want to, he's not going into the season like I'm a backup. He's
No.
going in like this is my fucking job, and I'm not gonna let it go.
Right.
You got to
Do what
look
Baker
at it.
did, just like Baker did last year.
Yeah, and even Baker when he went to the Rams for that one like miracle start
Yeah.
when he came in midweek and he had to go and play the Raiders and he beat the Raiders, and everyone was like, how do you just show up in a locker room? You don't know. You're introducing yourself to these guys, and you went out there and led. And it's because he was doing things like running for a first down and
Baker's
getting
got
lit
swag,
up,
too.
and like the team
He's got
rallies
it.
behind that. But
Yep.
that's why Baker went 1 and Sam didn't, because Baker's like, I'm gonna go throw myself out there, watch what I do, and follow suit. And Sam's like, hey guys, like
Right.
this is the play. Let's have some fun. It's like, what the fuck is this? Nobody wants to follow. Like these are men. This isn't college football anymore. College, he's the perfect leader. Coach, call the play. I'll throw the ball. NFL, these are men who are like relying on a paycheck to support their family. They want somebody coming out that's a fucking dog.
Right.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting because, he's an older guy in the locker room. He has all the talent potentially.
Yeah.
You're going to have a young guy that might have like a Caleb Williams type of mentality that's like, oh, I'm the new hot shit. And he's just going to be like getting up early, eating breakfast, and making sure he throws the right ball that day, while the other guy's like, I'm this new young money, excited guy in the league. That's tough to compete with.
Except the one quarterback who's not that, who is also Luke's nightmare, JJ McCarthy.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
He's like meditation guy. He sits on he's just very intentional, very like.
He's a Harbaugh kid. Jim Harbaugh hand selected him. They ran the other quarterback out of town. They wanted to start JJ McCarthy. He was like the high school fucking sweetheart. Everyone wanted him.
He's like the Letterman jacket quarterback.
Yeah. Okay.
You know?
He's just, there's nothing sexy. Like, look, I tried to go into this unbiased. I was like, I'm going to try to forget everything I know and just go into this and like watch tape and do my process and figure out the JJ. Because like, look, I'm outside of the NFL. I'm not in a
Also,
locker
just
room.
like I need people to know Luke's process. There's spreadsheets involved, right?
Oh, there's spreadsheets. It's
Okay.
a lot of YouTube.
Okay.
I watch people I don't like. I watch people I do like.
When
I'm like,
did the
what
spreadsheets
are
start?
people saying? I mean, it's an all-year thing.
Okay.
Like, I started watching J.J. McCarthy last year,
Yeah,
Same
yeah.
with not Jaden Daniels because he was still at ASU, but he came onto my radar. But Drake May, Caleb, obviously I've watched his entire career, Oklahoma
We're
and
gonna
USC.
need to see like some footage of these.
It's mostly up here. But it's a
So
lot.
is
But
it-
it's also in my phone.
So this buzz that's happened with JJ McCarthy, is it overly hyped?
So
is it
that's
getting weird?
So every year you get one of these, a Zach Wilson
Yeah.
who fucking lights up a pro day, and everyone's like, "Holy shit, this kid came out of nowhere!" Because they like those stories. The NFL loves a storyline, and scouts love to overhype somebody that wasn't supposed to be there. And people get bored with the same Caleb Williams. They want to bring
Caleb
in
Williams
a new
getting
guy.
really lucky right now because they're not talking shit about him.
No, they've
And it went from
completely
JJ, and then it was Drake May.
That's all they
and
wanna
then
talk
it was
about.
Jaden, then it was Penix, and everyone's
now
like,
they're on Penix's dick.
Yeah.
Everyone, it's so stupid because since the end of the season, nothing should have changed. Like, yeah, you get some combine, but the combine can't tell you anything other than like a Kenny Pickett situation where his hands are too small to grip a football. It's like, ooh, maybe that's a red flag. That makes sense.
Right.
But as far as like
watch the game
nothing
change,
is
stop watching the
changing.
combine.
Exactly, like you've seen them all year. We know who these guys are. You don't need to interview them unless there's like a glaring issue in an interview. There's really no reason to be like, this guy jumped 20 spaces and this guy plummeted. Like, what are you talking
Right.
about, So right now, the way it is, Caleb is no question number 1 pick. That's already done. Keenan Allen went to his pro day. Like, they're sending their players from the Bears to his pro day.
fucking
That's
wild.
done. He's their quarterback.
They're gonna
2,
ruin his career, which is great.
yeah, like for us, it's interesting. For me, it's like a conflict of interest, but I hope I don't know what I hope.
Well, they're going to ruin his career, and he might be like
Yeah.
our backup quarterback in like 5 years.
That's
Oh.
Which would
fine.
be kind of fun.
Yeah, please.
There you go.
And then re-wins the job. Who knows?
Yeah. So 2 was supposed to be clear cut. Beginning of the season was supposed to be Drake May, no question. Like he was challenging for 1. That has now come away. Jaden Daniels won Heisman. That's the recency bias. He was the most exciting quarterback this year. He's now slotted at 2. But the commies have started being a little wishy-washy, and they haven't like fully dedicated. Like this is who we're taking. So now people think that we could actually, or they could take JJ McCarthy 2 because the hype has gotten so crazy. That's my
And they're that dumb.
pray. I'm
Right?
praying that they're dumb enough to do that.
Who's the GM of the commies right now?
Rick Spielman.
He got a job again?
Yeah, he's like the guru in Washington. He's our fucking
He's the
boy.
commander-in-chief.
He's the only one that can save us
He's the
from
commander.
ourselves.
Yeah,
And
but I mean,
she-
I always have to reiterate this. Back during COVID, after he lost his job and he was in his daughter's room doing Instagram lives and trying to talk sports, it got scary because you didn't know if like a gun was gonna pop out.
Oh my
And it
God.
was just gonna be up. Because he was in a weird.
He was hanging out with
So good
Zimmer
for-
too
so what
much,
you're saying
man.
is
It gets
good.
it gets
I actually
depressing.
like one. I really loved him as everything about him.
I
as a GM.
love
He was one of
what
my
he
favorite.
did.
He's actually my favorite GM. We've
He's
ever
one of
had,
the better
to be honest.
GMs in the NFL. When
So I
we
was
got
sad
rid of
to see him,
I
like-
was pissed.
Yeah.
But I understood changing of the guard. You want to go in a different direction, whatever.
And we lost the juice.
It was more so getting rid of Zimmer was the
Yeah.
important thing back then. But whatever. We started new. I kind of wished him the best, but now I'm like, eh. But then they got the
want
new
him to fuck
owner.
this
They got
up.
the Amazon owner.
So he's gonna trade back. That's what he does.
I mean,
That
they
is
need
what
a
he does.
quarterback.
What are we
They
talking
should
about?
just take Jaden Daniels and be done with it. But they also have Bob Myers, one of the brain trust guys from the Golden State Warriors NBA success. He left the Warriors, and now he's part of the Washington team.
Oh.
So they've got an interesting nucleus going on over there that I don't really like. I'm curious to see what they do with their first draft because they
It's
could
called-
trade back.
I know. They trade back,
But getting
trade back.
getting a 2 pick, and they traded away Sam Howell, so they have no quarterback on their
But
roster.
maybe he's like changed his demeanor on that. Like he went to his daughter's bedroom and was like, "I need to. I'm in timeout.
Don't trade back.
I'm in
They're
timeout."
They're
Yeah.
gonna take a quarterback. They have to. That's how you build a franchise. You pray to get a top 2 pick in a draft that is this
That has-
stacked.
yeah.
Because if you wait till next year and you're stuck getting Shador Sanders or Quinn Ewers, you're like, oh my god, we should have just taken fucking Jaden Daniels, and like compete right away.
So I know
they
good old
should.
Spielman. He's looking for 2 first-round picks. He loves.
It depends how far they can go back.
Yeah.
If they want to drop to a 5, something like that, they could still get a top quarterback.
True.
But if they drop, like they're not going to take 11 from us. They're not dropping 9 spots. That'll destroy them. So maybe the Giants go from 6 to 2. I could see something like that happening, but not. They're not going to drop to us.
Now, is there any value in us staying out of the mess of the first 4 picks and just being where we are and letting
At 11.
Like, I know, I get it. Like, choose your future. If
Yeah.
you really believe in the guy, go get the guy. I don't care what cost.
Yeah.
3 first-round draft picks, whatever, do it. But again, we are in a really prime spot where we're still going to get so much talent at where we're at.
Yeah.
We could literally I don't know. You could get crazy. We could literally get like a quarterback wide receiver combo, which I don't think we should
No.
get a wide receiver.
No.
But we could get crazy depth somewhere.
So there's two versions of this conversation. The draft I want to happen and the draft that's going to happen.
Let's hear one. I want one. Luke.
You want?
Yeah.
I want to stay at 11 and stay at 23 and because we need more than one player.
For sure.
11, we could get, that's where JJ McCarthy should fall to talent-wise.
Won't him or Jaden Daniels somebody fall there?
Not one of those. The top 4 quarterbacks will be gone in the first 6 picks.
I don't believe it.
1 through 3 is going to be 1, 2, 3, quarterback. Then you've got Marvin Harrison Jr., but the Cardinals and the Chargers and the Giants could be where that's where now a team that needs a quarterback like us, the Broncos, and the Raiders, or even the Seattle, if they're willing to really leverage the future, they would have to give up a lot because they're at 18 currently. That's the next spot you get a quarterback. So those people immediately get on the phone like, who wants to fucking leverage their entire future and trade up to my spot? So it doesn't become like a value thing anymore. It's not best player available. It's I need a quarterback, and that's the only way I guarantee I get the next quarterback is by jumping that high.
And that's how you ruin franchises.
That's how you destroy things, and that's what I don't want to
Right.
do. But people are falling in love with J.J. McCarthy, so they think they're going to do that. I want to stay at 11. Whichever quarterback falls to us, preferably Penix.
So take the quarterback at 11.
At 11.
100%.
Yeah, well, it depends. If they're all gone, don't take there's no quarterback to take. But if you can wait and have a Penix or even Bo Nix, who I'm not in love with, but like if you like him, if they've graded him and they're like, this kid's good enough to run our offense. I just think I don't like his throwing motion. Yeah, in this quarterback class, like I'm not wowed by him.
Isn't he almost as old as Sam Darnold too?
I'm not sure.
Sam
his
Darnold's
age,
26.
but
Everyone's forgetting.
Yeah,
What?
no, I don't
25.
think. No, yeah,
He's
Sam Darnold's
turning
very
26.
young. Yeah, Sam Darnold's young. He's
And
been in the league
Bo
5
Nix,
years.
I think
21.
is 20.
What?
Maybe
3.
23,
I
24.
had no idea.
Penix
I thought
is
he was
too.
like 34.
He's
No, no,
been
no,
in
no,
Like
no.
I'm just like,
He's been in the
No,
league
yeah.
since he's been 20.
Yeah. No, Sam Darnold came in
So
early.
I'm on your side.
and killed
Yeah,
it.
so I still
I'm
like.
on your
There's
side.
a lot to love still here.
Absolutely, but
Anyways,
there's
okay,
also
so-
like.
Okay.
And Bo Nix being 23, anyways.
So yeah, whoever falls to 11, I would take that quarterback. If not, take Quinion Mitchell, the cornerback out of
Because we need
Toledo,
that.
who's the top cornerback on the draft. We need a shutdown corner.
Yeah.
That's our main thing.
What about our white boy from Iowa? I thought he was the top cornerback.
So
He fell?
no. Look, do you want to be the guy that takes the risk on the white kid?
I would take Caitlin Clark for sure. Right
I'll take Caitlin Clark right now over Cooper DeJean.
If we draft him, I'm going to call him Caitlin Clark the entire
And he's from Iowa
Yeah,
as well.
yeah, yeah.
It's amazing. So he's the biggest. He would be the biggest cornerback in the NFL today.
tallest.
Biggest size wise.
I
He's
love that.
He's 6'6'1", but he's fucking built like a shit house.
That's the old Spielman
Dude.
shit, and I like that.
He's not an elite athlete, but he was a 2-sport athlete in high school, college. He was a quarterback in high school. Like the
Okay.
kid is just a fucking Christian McCaffrey type athlete.
Love that.
But the problem is, I think eventually he transitions into a safety. I don't think he can stay a corner. He's not
quick
as
enough.
fast to keep up with the fucking quick
Yeah.
twitch black guys in the NFL.
Right,
He's
right.
he's a lot of get your hands on the guy, but then they blow right past him. But he's good at just turning and running. He's got big, high, like top end speed, but the quick speed isn't.
So he's a
isn't
perfect
what it
strong
is.
safety.
He could develop
He's like
into
a
a
hitman.
great safety.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
he likes to hit. He's willing tackler, good motor. I just don't want that as my cover corner. He's better probably in a zone scheme,
Right.
but he is versatile. I think Flores, if we drafted him, it means Flores
He's
is
not
like,
fun.
I know how to use
Yeah,
that
yeah,
kid.
yeah.
Right.
It's going to take a team that has a specific defensive style. He's not just going to be a, hey, shadow corner, go stop,
Which
cut that guy out of the game,
Flores
which I
is
want.
all over the place. So
Flores is all over the place, but we need a cover corner because Mekhi Blackman, who was our USC draft pick last year, was amazing in his rookie season, but he's more of a slot corner. He wants to guard the guy in the middle, which is great. Move him into slot corner. We need a man cover guy.
And would he even outshine Murphy Jr.? Would he be like our
I mean,
true
he
X or whatever
fucking
over
should.
there? Okay.
Cooper DeJean should. The other ones I like. Terrion Arnold was a cornerback out of Alabama. His 40 time was not good. It was 4.5, which was actually lower than the top D end.
lower
but-
than LJ's at mock.
About
Yeah.
LJ's cone drill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
Rough day, though.
he's not an elite
At
athlete,
McDonald's.
but he's very long and he's a willing tackler and he breaks up the ball. He gets in there, he breaks up the ball. I would love somebody like that who maybe he gets blown by occasionally, but he's going to be involved in the play.
And
he
this
gets
would be at
pass
11 or at
breakups.
20?
This would to get one of those two, a Terrion Arnold or a Quinion Mitchell, it would have to be 11.
So is there a scenario we pick up like one of these guys at 11
And then at 23,
get
yes.
the quarterback that like the girlfriend's crying and rubbing his back and his dad's like sweating
Yeah.
and mom's like left. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
the whole like Will Levis situation. Where
Yeah,
he
yeah, yeah.
swapped girlfriends like halfway through the first round.
His girlfriend
And
was
you're
hot.
like, what's going on here? I would rather have that guy than all of this other bullshit that's going to happen 1 through 4.
Yeah, I think the guy that could fall is Drake May, but no one's falling.
That far?
No.
Yeah,
No
yeah.
one's falling to
falls.
23.
Someone always
Somebody could
falls.
fall
That's
to
the way it
11,
goes.
but there's too many teams this year that need
need
quarterbacks,
quarterbacks.
and this is such a
Yep.
deep class. This could be one of the most exciting drafts ever because of where the league is right now, where it's like you can win with like a big white boy who stays in the pocket. You can win with a little black guy who fucking runs all over the place. This is the most diverse league we've had when it comes to skill set.
When you can't tackle anymore, which we'll get
And
into
you
later.
can't tackle anymore, so they're really protecting guys like Jaden Daniels, who in the past, people would have been like, you are way too skinny to be playing quarterback. He's like the 200 pounds. The guy's tiny.
Or a Penix who just stays in the pocket and gets
Penix who
fucking
stays in the
popped.
pocket and just launches. And I hate lefty quarterbacks, but he's good. And if he didn't have an injury history, he'd be a top 5
But you don't
pick.
get injured in the NFL. It's over. It's
Well,
done now.
that's why
Well.
I'm willing to take the risk on Penix. The fact that he's had 3 season-ending injuries in college alone is what scares these scouts. But just take it, you know.
What do we
Yeah,
know
it's
about
happened before.
Quessy and Big Cock and their style and what they're looking for that you think identifies with one of these quarterbacks?
Well, that's okay. So this takes me back to what we are gonna do. That was all what I want to do.
Because they're
We're
not
gonna
going to
do
let
that.
Flores get 11. I look at it
Why?
like that. Structurally,
Make him happy.
Because you've already made him happy.
They've given all free agency
has been
going,
enough.
dude.
Yeah.
You
Give me
gotta
something.
give me
And
one.
they've gotta
And
keep
they've said,
Justin
we'll give
happy.
you 11 or we'll give you
That's true.
3.
That's what's most important. We have to keep Justin Jefferson happy. We still haven't signed
Good
his
point.
deal, which is shocking. Like last year, we were talking about this deal needs to get done.
We
Now
could wake
we're
up in a nightmare and it's gone.
Oh, absolutely. If they draft someone or if they miss out on somebody he's told them, because Kevin O'Connell said Justin has been very involved in all the conversations regarding the quarterback, which is the right move to do. I never understood teams that don't talk to their star player. It's like, why would you leave him out in the
Right.
dark? It's about keeping him happy. So Justin is involved. He and Jordan Addison both followed JJ McCarthy in this offseason on Instagram. I hated that. But if they've given...
But they probably just like they're boys. They're like around the same age.
I don't want... No, unfollow him. He's a fucking dork. If they've both said, hey, our vote of confidence goes to JJ McCarthy, and the
It's
team
happening.
doesn't do what they have to get JJ McCarthy,
You'll have a mutiny.
and we fuck up, and Sam Darnold sucks, or whoever we draft sucks, JJ's gonna go, fuck this. I'm not hanging out for
But
5
I'll
why
go to
years.
a
would
diner or
Jay-
Eden Prairie, wherever that
He can go
thing
wherever
is.
the fuck he wants.
January 6th
Go to the-
building, dude.
Why
Go
the fuck
anywhere.
would JJ want? Or why would Justin Jefferson's want JJ McCarthy though? Like, what is the
So,
thought process there?
What we're gonna do, and everybody has us mocked taking JJ McCarthy at either 5, 4, or even 3, which is my biggest fear, because if we move up to 3, it means we've given up both picks this
Yeah.
year and a pick next year. That's what it's going to take to get to 3.
I hate
4
that they're
as well.
baiting us into that we have to give up 3 first
That's what
rounds.
it's gonna be.
BS.
No, that's the price here. It's crazy. I mean, Bryce Young, for them to move up to
Too much
1.
of a premium.
Oh, it's insane. They had to give up 3 picks and like top end pick. I mean, look, the Bears just got the 1 pick overall for Bryce Young last year. Like and they get next year. It's crazy. But JJ McCarthy. So I watched the tape, unbiased. I was like, let's give this kid a fair shot because there's a good chance he's going to be our Vikings
Purple.
quarterback. And there's so much Christian Ponder fear that like my PTSD is
Really?
kicking back in, where you're just like this white kid that comes out of nowhere, was like never really flashed on tape. Like there's no game in his time at Michigan where the running game and the defense fell apart and they had to get on JJ McCarthy's shoulders. That never happened. JJ McCarthy played their system. They had an elite defense and they had an elite run game, and that's how they won games.
So is he not pushing the ball downfield like ever? Because that
No,
Christian
then why-
Ponder-
No, he throws downfield, but it's because the defense is terrified of the run because they've been running all over you all game, and now you've got some wide open shit downfield. So I watched all these breakdowns. His throwing motion is consistent. His feet are consistent. It's stuff like that that coaches fall in love with. So Kevin O'Connell is like, I'm tired of these guys who just do their own thing. We saw on Quarterbacks
Yeah.
on Netflix how many times Kirk just called his own play, and Kevin O'Connell's like, what are you doing? Like, let me know, and I'll change,
And he
the
hated
personnel.
Dobbs.
Dobbs was running all over the place and bailing out on his plays. So he wants a guy who's going to sit and run his offense. And JJ McCarthy is that player. He's not the guy you build an offense around. You build your offense and you plug JJ McCarthy in and he will run that offense, and he's not going to go off book. He's actually a very underrated athlete. He can get out. He's surprisingly
How tall is
quick. 6'3". Good
Okay.
size, not elite. Nothing about him is like, holy fucking shit.
So is he gonna like Russell Wilson the next franchise?
Yeah, it's a
Where
very Russell Wilson
He wins. He gets you into the Super Bowl 2-3 times,
Oh,
maybe if you're
Look,
lucky.
I'll blow everyone watching right now.
But then
to get to the Super Bowl
your
3 times.
team's kind of messed up for a few years.
It depends what you do. Like they fucked that situation up in Seattle. That wasn't on Russ. Russ lost his mind. He's definitely a weirdo. But they fucked up deciding to like go away from their amazing defense and
Legion of
and
Boom
make it
and
about
stuff, yeah.
Russ. Yeah. No, the best case scenario is he's a Russell Wilson who has a great team around him and he leads us down. He just steps in and is like, I'm not going to fuck this up. I'm going to throw it deep to my guys. I'm going to throw it short to TJ. I'm going to run the ball when I need to and let the defense play good. That's the best case scenario. He's not going to come in, but we're not getting a Jaden Daniels who's going to come in as instant offense. He's running 80 yards downfield and he's fucking Hail Marying. That's what I like in a top 4 pick quarterback.
Yeah.
Right.
If we sat at 11 and JJ fell to us, I'd be happy with it. I'd be like, all right, let's see what this kid can do. But to trade the future when we're going to need those picks to get him scares the shit out of me.
Right. Because it's nice to have a Kirk Cousins type, which is kind of sounds like a JJ McCarthy, where it's he gets the job done.
Yeah.
He doesn't mess stuff up. But then again, to me, I would rather gamble on a guy who's more like a Jameis Winston, where it's you're gonna throw deep, you're doing crazy ass shit.
Can't do it.
I can't.
It's just the way it is, though. That's what you want from a first round draft pick, is someone who's going to risk it all.
I just want someone that when we're down 14 in the 4th, the game isn't over. I'm like, okay, you know what? This guy's got the skill set where we're never out of a game. That Deshaun Watson type thing when he was on the Texans, not now, where, they just put together this insane run. I can't see JJ McCarthy being like, yo, guys, I'm going to fucking win this game. You're all coming with me. He's just not. It doesn't seem like he's that guy.
That's not what was happening with him in Michigan? Was it not his team?
No. No, he was the
He was the face, but
yeah, they made him the face, but there was always the fear that JJ McCarthy could fuck this whole thing up. You go into the season Michigan never closes the deal. They had Aiden Hutchinson the year before. They went to the national championship and they just couldn't score. And it's can JJ McCarthy really lead this team to a national championship? Because the defense is there and the running game is there. So
what you're saying though is when we trade up, because we probably will.
Yeah,
it's JJ.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. I'm praying Rick Spielman jumps and takes JJ at 2 and saves us from ourselves, and then we can take Drake May. That would be the pick, because I don't think the Patriots are passing up on Jaden Daniels. So Drake May would be the other option, who I would be thrilled with, because he's a guy. There's probably a little more risk than JJ, because JJ's very not taking risks, but Drake May has a goddamn cannon. He's 6'5", he's the prototypical size and stature. He just never got good coaching in college. He was at UNC, not known for developing quarterbacks. They had Mitch
Where's
Trubisky.
He from originally?
Some Hicksville kid.
Okay.
But it was really funny. I don't know if you guys saw. They went on his Instagram and they how you can search followers, who they're following. They searched Josh Allen, he was following. Kirk Cousins, he was following. Every white quarterback, he was following. Then they started typing in Dak, not following.
No.
Jalen Hurts, not following. Lamar, not following.
Whoa, then they started to check all the
It was
tweets.
only the white dudes and none of the black guys. It was fucking hilarious. Will Levis following.
That day,
fucking
he got
dying.
a publicist.
And then they asked him, they were build your perfect quarterback. And he went arms thing, and he got to legs. And who would you go for best legs in the NFL if you could take a quarterback's legs? Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson.
And he goes, Josh Allen.
And he said Josh Allen. And they were like, what about Lamar Jackson? He goes, oh no, he's good too, but I'll take Josh Allen.
Too.
But that's his comp though, right? He is Josh Allen.
He's not as physically dominant. Josh Allen's a fucking tank.
Yeah.
And he has probably the strongest arm in the NFL. But Drake May, yeah, that's your hope, is he becomes a Josh Allen type. The kid's got all the skills. The only reason they kind of got bored of him is because Jaden Daniels won Heisman and now JJ won the national championship and UNC wasn't competing for
What's
anything.
his personality like?
Seems like a good kid, God kid,
Okay.
very humble, but he's cocky. He likes to talk a little trash.
Okay.
So
We'll take that.
he's got
We'll
so
take that.
that's what scares me. Also because we traded our second to get this 23 pick.
Right.
So really we're trading 3, maybe 4 picks to get one player, because we're going to have to move 11 and 23 to move up. We gave up the second already, and then we might have to give up next year's first. So it's
Dude,
that's
give me-
4
This sucks.
very
Penix
important
at
picks
11.
all
Chill.
day. And
Why
then give me a
not?
corner at fucking 23.
Yes.
There's also Kool-Aid McKinstry, which is the
The
coolest
best
fucking
name. Oh
name
my
in
God.
the draft. You get Kool-Aid out there? Come on.
That's the best name.
And
Yeah.
then Cooper DeJean, the white kid. And then there was one more corner I liked. Terrion Arnold, Quentin. Nate Wiggins is a tall. The only part that scares me is he's a Clemson kid, and we have some PTSD with Clemson players.
We do.
But
that was Zimmer, so that's fine.
That's true. He reminds me of Emmanuel Forbes, where he's so fast. He ran a 4.3, cover corner. He can. It's not that he doesn't like to tackle. He has no tackling power. So it could be difficult with the no more hip drop thing. Like, I don't know how he's going to hit people, but he's 6'1", and he's a fucking lightning bolt speed.
Not to go off topic, but is that going to stand for this next season?
Well, that's the important thing to just segue into. Like where does that even work within, like, building a team now?
Right.
You know, they're telling us, like, TJ Hawkinson, this is a beautiful thing for him. But what does this do for, like, especially our corners? Like, slightly inexperienced young guys dealing with guys that continue to get bigger and faster and stronger.
Yeah.
Like a Gronkowski now in this new version of the league,
It's just going to run.
he would never even have to wear a leg brace anymore if he did it again.
This is going to punish teams that rely on defense, which sadly is going to be us for the first half of the season until our quarterback situation is more clear. And they'll call it more. It's like when they changed the roughing the passer and the pass interference rules a few years back, and the first 4 weeks
Like
was
landing
just
on the quarterback stuff.
was just flag after flag, and Aaron Rodgers is like, dude, let these fucking guys play. It was horribly officiated because they have to overdo it in the beginning to remind everyone we're gonna call this, and then they kind of get lax as the season goes. So for the first 5 weeks of the season, you're gonna see this shit called nonstop.
And it's 15 yards, right?
Yeah. It's a personal foul, and they're gonna call it nonstop. It's gonna punish teams that want to play defense, which is sadly us. Thankfully, the silver lining is Brian Flores understands defense, and he's a good coach, and hopefully he can teach the guys, like, this is how we're going to have to tackle, but this is going to be a fucking mess.
Everybody is so upset about it. Like, within the rule changes, has there been a time where they've, like, reverted a rule back? I don't think. They've made a change in that.
Not that I can think of. They're not really ones to admit when they're wrong.
That's true.
So,
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, look, they're trying to make the game safer. It's really ridiculous. I completely disagree with it. But like every, not leading with the crown of the helmet, stuff like that, where you're like, how are the guys even supposed to play defense? Then a few years go by and you forget that we ever had that. So
yeah,
this will happen.
What I hate more about it, though, is still every once in a while a guy gets popped with the crown of the helmet and you go, that could have been called, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
And then it gets called some random time in the playoffs that it matters.
Yep.
So it just makes this new subjective, they'll call it when they call it call.
Yeah.
That is game defining.
Uh-huh.
So that's because
they won't call it for three
this
quarters
is the call
and then
that,
on a
like,
pivotal drive.
It might work in our favor, but like Aaron Jones is like rounding the corner. Justin Jefferson's rounding the corner on like a sweep.
Yeah.
And a cornerback cranks on him. And then you're like, oh, well, that worked out for us.
Yeah.
And it's just,
big players will get it called. Justin Jefferson should get it called. TJ, when he comes back, should get it called. Jordan Addison likely won't get it called.
Right.
But then there's going to be, like Pat Mahomes will have it called nonstop, and Jalen Hurts and all these guys who are bigger deal, they'll get it called way more. And we don't really have that panache at quarterback, so I don't think we'll get it called.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
Do you care anything about this kickoff?
You know what? I actually don't mind. I think there will be more kickoff return for touchdowns now because everybody. So the new rule is everybody starts closer up. They took it from the XFL, or the XFL, I think. So instead of everybody lining up, I don't know the exact yardage line.
I think it's the 40 and the 30.
Yeah. And you have to kick it. So now if you get a touchback, the ball starts at the 30. So they've moved it from 20 to 25, now the 30. So they want you to kick it inbounds. Right. They don't want you to kick it into the end zone. So kickers are going to have to now kind of create that new skill. Instead of kicking it through the back of the end zone, which will give it to them at the 30, they want you to land it between the 30 and the
Because you kind of want to kick it low and fast. Like it's the opposite hang time.
Yeah, because now there's no more build up, there's no more lead time to start that run. They're going to be standing very close to each other. So if you can just get through that first line of people, you're gone. Like there's no one to stop you. There's no one deeper in the field.
Who can be the returner now? Like
so there's only, I think it's only one returner
like
now.
Cornerback.
It's going to be your shiftiest guy because now it's not about getting to full speed. It's going to be about getting through one line of defenders, and they're going to be close. So you're going to see those holes immediately. So guys are going to come up with like interesting blocking patterns to try to get behind. If you can create like a little V, I'm very curious
Define
about
V.
this.
I think one or two teams is going to figure it out
Yeah.
early.
Oh, absolutely.
And
That'd be fun.
score like
This
3
is
or
where
4
Bill
touchdowns.
Belichick, if he were coaching, would find some dirty little move
It'll
and
be
would be
the-
amazing. And
The
yeah.
tush push of
Yeah.
20,
Yeah.
of
It's just-
2024.
No, you
Yeah.
can
Need
really come up with
Cordero,
some
yeah.
interesting stuff. I
Yeah.
think this is going to be overlooked, but it could be someone's going to take advantage of it and fucking kill
Love
it. I am curious to see how this one goes. As far as the
let's
rules
touch
changes.
base a little bit on NFC North too. We
Mhm.
obviously know Chicago's at 1. What do
Yeah.
we got? Green Bay and
Chicago's at 1 and 9.
right.
So they've got 2 picks,
God,
and
they're
they killed
So Caleb,
their trades.
whatever.
Are amazing.
See you later.
They got Caleb, and then I think they're going to get Roma Dunze, wide receiver out of Washington, who I'm obsessed with at 9.
Like so
Um,
fast.
Just
Pretty
he's
big.
6'4".
Yeah.
Like that's the size you want to pair with Keenan Allen and DJ Moore. Like that team, and that's why I think we need to get a cornerback, like a legit cornerback. And the fact that we don't pick again after our 23 pick, if we were to keep that, we wouldn't pick again until 108. So if we get rid of 11 and 23, the
Yeah, we
best
can't
cornerback
afford
we
to
can
do that.
get, unless we trade back up, is 108 in the fourth
and how
round.
would we even trade back up? Like,
Well, we
what
would have
would
to
we-
package either future
Yeah.
picks or like 2/5 to move into the third, something like that.
And that's where it's
It's
stupid because we
horrible.
get baited into, well, the Bears have Caleb Williams, so we have to like be in this arms race with them.
Yeah.
But they're in such a better position. But
Oh, yeah.
their team's not as well prepared as ours though either. I think
it's gonna be like
I think we're much
crapshoot.
more well prepared for like a good quarterback than they are right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
They're
so
gonna take
we
time
should-
to figure it out.
We just don't need to be
internally.
as scared.
No,
as, like,
but we need a corner because we need, like, they've got weapons. They've got 3 weapons, and then Detroit has Amon-Ra St. Brown, who's a very good wide receiver 1. We need somebody to stop him. And then the Packers have the youngest team in the NFL, and they've got Christian Watson, Romeo Doubs, Jaden Reed, whoever they want to put as their wide receiver 1. We need somebody that can follow these guys. Like,
Yeah.
this is becoming a very offensive league, and we're not equipped with the right personnel yet. So that's what, But as far as Green Bay's picking 25th, Detroit's picking 29th,
Okay.
those are picks you can't really mock towards because they're so late. It's like, who's going to fall?
Who's
You
gonna
just
fall?
take BPA, best player available at that
Yeah.
point. It's kind of what the Dallas Cowboys have done for the last 15 years, where it's like, who are you going to let us take?
Yeah.
We can always take a D end. We can always take a speedy wide receiver. It's one of those guys that they just like add to an embarrassment of riches because they don't really have holes that they're going to address.
Yeah.
No.
Green Bay never makes flashy picks.
No.
They just are going to get
Other than the stupidity of taking Jordan Love when they had Aaron Rodgers,
Yeah.
stuff like that,
That
where you're
was
like,
their
what are
flashy
you
pick.
doing? No, they don't do. Yeah, they're not in the business of flash.
Are you believing the hype of Jordan Love?
No, not at all.
It
I
does
think-
seem like
Every single person's on it right
Oh
now.
my god!
Right.
Because
Like-
the second half of the season, his numbers were undeniably elite, but the first half of the season, he was god awful. Like, okay, cool, you guys played well in a half of a year. Fuck you.
Yeah, I think they're getting used to having like a normal quarterback in the NFL, which
Yeah.
is sometimes they play well and sometimes they don't.
Exactly.
And they always are like,
Inconsistent.
"Oh my god, we found gold again." It's like,
Yeah.
no, that's a normal NFL
Your team
quarterback.
got healthy. You guys
Yeah.
figured out. People overlooked you. Honestly, there was a moment there where it looked like you could get the number 1 pick in the draft. You were so bad, and teams kind of stopped preparing for you. And then all of a sudden, you were the Cinderella, like made the playoffs
Yeah.
the last week of the season, and then they overlooked you in the playoffs again. But dude, you beat the Cowboys. The Cowboys are known for fucking up in the playoffs.
And work inconsistent throughout the entire
Exactly.
season, too.
So now you're back. Let's see how you start fresh year with pressure to now get back to the playoffs and do more. I don't think they'll do shit. I don't think Jordan Love is special at all.
We're gonna all beat each other up this year, though. That is what's gonna be tough about our division. I
This
think
is a tough-
everybody
tough
splits
division.
every single game. I
Mhm.
think it's gonna be, everyone's gonna be 1-1 with all their divisional opponents. So
Yeah, no, it's a very interesting division now. There's a lot of parity.
Which it wasn't last year.
I don't love Jared Goff, but they did. It's undeniable. They played really well. They ran the ball well. Defense is getting better. They're making good moves, and they've made good moves in free agency. Fuck them.
yeah, but don't we currently, if you really can analyze it, we're winning this thing through free agency right now. with the parts we needed?
We've done well for us. We still have some holes. We need D-line help. We need an edge rusher. I would love to also take, like, if the corners were gone, or if we just decided, fuck it, there's no more quarterbacks. We're sitting at 11. All the quarterbacks got taken. Take a corner and take an edge rusher.
Can we get like a Chop or like a Newton?
Yeah, Chop Robinson.
Yeah. Would they be around
At 11,
then?
maybe.
That's a great
23 would be other guys. Leatu Latu from UCLA is a guy who is the best pass rusher in the class, no question. But he has a major red flag. He was medically unable to play last year after University of Washington said, we're not clearing you to play football. And then
It's
UCLA.
hard stuff, or they don't even disclose it.
I don't even know. But UCLA said, we'll clear you, which I don't understand how that works. And
It's
they
an elite
took him.
medical institution.
And then he was phenomenal. And he's the best like edge rusher in the draft. But everyone's afraid like you're going to get to the NFL and you know you could get
like, die.
so he could drop very easily to 23. Or if we let him go, he's somebody that the Lions or Packers could take because it's like you have this supreme talent
Right.
that is a very big risk, but we can take the risk. So someone like him would be great. Jared Verse will be either 11 or before us. I think 8 to the Falcons is probably where he goes. You said Chop Robinson. He's a beast. And then
there's
who are
some
the
Newton
other guys.
Can't
That's who
remember.
Chop
I want a
Robinson,
Chopper
Jared
Kool-Aid just
Verse.
for the merch.
Oh, Dallas Turner. He's also a freak out of Alabama. He's
Okay.
the other Alabama kid. Yeah, he's a monster. There's very good edge rushers, and we need somebody opposite Jonathan Grenard.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
we have a crazy hole to fill, which I think they've continued to try to
Mm.
just through depth. Again, like on defense, I like depth over superstars all day. I like a nameless defense that just has like young
That's what
gunners
Flores wants.
Last
doing
year.
it right. That's early Zim years of what it looked like.
Yeah.
You build superstars, and that's the way that I think that's the way you win this league now.
Yeah.
So
100%.
Yeah. And then there's some late wide receivers that we can take, with maybe if we keep that 4th round pick or if we get even deeper in the draft, like end of the draft guys. Like there's a guy, Devontae Walker, who's 6'3". Like he needs a year to sit behind players. What better players to sit behind than our wide receivers with Addison and Jefferson? Somebody like that, I think, would be a good investment later in the draft. So, yeah, those
is
are
there
really
anybody they're predicting or that you're predicting falls farther than everyone would expect right now?
I haven't
Drake May,
seen a
right?
reason for anyone to fall, but yeah, unless like the JJ hype has just been teams blowing smoke where it's like, okay, he actually does fall to 11, but all these teams have created this hype to try to get us to give up our picks.
Like the commies are literally
Yeah.
putting out that press release.
Oh,
Yeah.
being
this
like,
is
go,
a
go, go,
season
go.
of misinformation.
Why wouldn't you
Yeah.
put you
Everyone's
definitely
doing
put
it.
money into that,
The
right?
fact that the commies are like, hey, we might take JJ at 2. Yeah, you're making teams go, hey,
Ooh.
what about the 2 pick? Can we get the 2 pick from you? You're going to take JJ? We want JJ. Like, get the fuck out of here. Oh, he's so good, you're going to take him at 2? Like,
Right.
you create that hype, and then, yeah, you're paying reporters to put out fucking report. Like, these are billion-dollar, multi-billion-dollar franchises. If you're not doing a little shady shit on the side, you're not part of this
And there's
league.
no penalty for this one, so it's like
No,
screw it.
nobody's gonna
Yeah.
find out. You got 100 interns and marketing kids and stuff going.
And the riches
hey, you
are
wanna
billions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got billionaires who are uber competitive. Like they're competitive in business. You think they're not competitive in sport? Like Robert Kraft, Jerry Jones. Like these guys are out there putting out, hey, you guys go start this, these rumor mills and get us back on the winning. Like
That would
that's
be
how
an
they
awesome
win.
documentary to like see like
Oh, if they were honest,
a guy who was
fuck,
like,
that'd
hey
be
dude,
cool.
we fucked this guy's life up because we made him a number 1 pick.
Yeah.
And we all knew it.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
5
Christian
teams.
Bonder.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, Zach
There you
Wilson and Christian Bonder, Mitchell Trubisky. You see all these guys where you're like, where is this
What?
hype coming from?
Daniel
Like,
Jones.
yeah, it's not happening when you're playing, but then all of a sudden it happens when you're not playing.
Yeah.
How does
Yeah.
that make any sense?
Right.
And this is how GMs lose jobs. So Kwesi can't fuck this up because this could be the one that it would get cockfired. It wouldn't get
he seems very cool-headed about all this though. He doesn't come off very
Yeah,
hope
because he's
so.
about to lose his job next year.
No,
if he
he
doesn't.
won't. He won't.
No,
Cock
I think Flores padded his ability.
Oh,
to-
he
Yeah.
saved his
He has-
ass.
he has an-
Ed Donatel was a bad hire, and he got Flores.
he has a
lucky.
transitional path where it's like Cock goes, Flores is in. It's interim.
Mhm.
You do it for a year
Yep.
and figure it out, and then he wins the job. So yeah, he saved himself, I think, for at least 3 years.
Kwesi has time because you get at least two coaches under you. He hired Cock. This one's on Cock. If Cock fucks this up and we have a shitty season, I don't know if he comes back unless it's like not his fault.
Well, because he's supposed to be a quarterback guy too, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, so you kind of
here's your chance. You inherited Kirk, and then you got fucked last year trying 17 different quarterbacks. This is now your chance to get your guy. So if you pick a kid and he sucks, that's on you,
and
then
build
you're
the
out.
system. Yeah.
And we traded next year's first round pick likely,
Right.
so you
Can't
won't
do it.
get another shot at this. This one is your pick, and you'll never get another head
Oh
coaching
God,
job.
he's got to be sweating. So
Oh,
I
yeah,
hope
he's
we're
having a
blowing
fucking
smoke.
heart
That'd be
attack.
awesome.
Yeah.
If like all these top 4 teams
And we could just sit
just
and wait.
think they're like, dude, the Vikings are for sure calling, dude. They're giving 3, and it's like, no, they just don't.
Yeah.
that'd be
Perfect.
so fun.
We got it. Look, we're going to be there. We're going to be sitting at the draft. You'll be sitting next to each other. We'll be right here. Whatever happens, like the draft starts at 2. Caleb goes, and then it's going to be every team staring at that board like, what do the commies do?
Mm-hmm.
And if the commies take Jaden Daniels, it's going to be, what do the Patriots do?
Yeah.
Do they love Drake May? Do they want to trade out and let us move up? Do they take Drake May and like they're full of shit as well because they need a lot of things? Then it's the Cardinals. Do you take Marvin Harrison? When's this?
Harrison, the wide receiver.
Marvin Harrison Jr. Yeah.
Jr. Like so.
Yeah.
That I think that's always so funny when it gets all like it's so wild around the quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And then he'll go top 5 still.
And
he'll be like one of the greatest players to ever live.
Yeah.
He'll just be consistent, the guy.
Yeah.
He'll have like a 15-year career, play into his like 40 somehow. Or
And
whatever.
now they're getting bored and they're like, oh, Malik Neighbors could go 1. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Marvin Harrison Jr. is incredible. He's the most polished wide receiver prospect since probably Calvin Johnson. Like this guy should be, if we were just going by talent, he's the number 1 pick in the draft. But we go by need.
Quarterbacks.
Yeah, you need a quarterback, so they take quarterback. Marvin Harrison Jr. should be the first player taken that isn't a quarterback, and that's crazy for these types of players.
Well, then he grew up in it. And his dad.
Oh, you've
was
got
like
the pedigree,
guy who just, like,
the work
grinds.
ethic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like you're new to the show. Like you've grown up on sidelines. You get it.
It's not
Your
like one of
dad's
Deion's
preparing
kids.
you.
It's like a different thing. You know what I mean? Like this kid's just like, yo, I'm
Yeah.
just here. I'm gonna like
yeah.
Just work hard.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that-
Put my nose
be
down.
in every
Yeah.
Pro Bowl that I've ever touched the field for.
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
know?
and then the flip side of that is we're talking about how valuable Marvin Harrison Jr. is and how bad the Cardinals need a wide receiver 1, and they're still willing to listen to offers for that 4 pick and miss out on this generational prospect because these picks are so valuable. You can get 3 picks and rebuild your whole franchise over the next 2 years, or you just get the guaranteed wide receiver. But that's how valuable these picks are. It's crazy.
Crazy.
Like, who can you get at 11?
Yeah. Well, I love it.
I'm excited. See
What
you
do we
guys
see these?
27th.
You see you all
25th.
25th.
Will we go? Will we have one before the draft?
He's gone, but
I'm
we
gonna
might
be out of
tune
town.
in. Maybe a little zoomy.
Okay.
A little zoomy.
I'll
Yeah.
report in from Australia.
We'll
yeah,
see if
wait,
it-
actually that time zone's terrible. Never mind.
Well, kind
So
of
right before I go to bed.
happens,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
we do,
Yeah.
like there's obviously
Oh,
no
if
reason
something
we never like
happens, I'll
trade up
tune in.
before the draft. Like that'd be idiotic.
No, yeah, you got to wait to see how the
it
board
has to
plays
be
out.
in the second it happens.
Yeah, it has to be after the second quarterback comes off the board. Everything's going to change.
It's gonna be hectic on the patio
It's going
at
to be a
Barney's
fucking
Beanery.
So you
mess.
probably see us next time at the draft.
Woo,
Live.
Stay tuned.
come on in.
Live at Barney's Beanery if you live in LA. Fly out here. Come out here. Jonathan Gooder is gonna be flying in,
Yeah.
hanging out. We got Spectrum Stats coming at you.
Yeah, there'll be so many.
He'll buy you a
Spectrum
drink
stats.
if you can choke him out in jiu-jitsu. That's like his thing.
Oh,
Is
is he
he-
in jits right now?
He's been a jits guy.
No,
yeah.
I didn't know that.
Wow.
I
No.
missed that.
He's always changing. Too.
yeah,
Just a young
but he'll
fella.
also definitely do the gritty and like maybe fall on this patio.
If he does the gritty, I'm leaving.
He does a bad gritty.
Oh, yeah, it's
Horrible
bad.
gritty.
Yeah.
I
Him
like
and
it.
Kirk are rivaling for worst gritty, and Mike Gesicki.
I'm here for it. Yeah, Mike is like the worst.
All right, over now. God bless you all. This was Vikings Banter.